YouTube, this is Felicia with Bible Scraps, and I am back to give an updated review on Anna Griffin's mini Empress machine. I shared a review when I first got this machine several weeks ago, did an unboxing, did some cuts, and I have used this machine extensively. I've also been using my Gemini Junior, and I am back to give a update. Now, if you purchase, well, you can only get this from HSN and only ever get it from hsn.com. I do believe it's still in stock. And if you buy this, you have until the end of January to return it. Okay, let me start off with the mats because this little machine, well, it's the baby Empress. It's a powerful machine. It was built to cut out wafer thin dies and intricate wafer thin dies. And if any of you own the Empress, the large machine, or one of the Gemini Juniors, you know the plates do warp. I don't have her large machine, and I don't have the Gemini Junior large machine, but I do have the Gemini Junior. And the plates warp to the point that they're unusable. I've heard and read comments of users talking about her large plates, and I have personal experience from the Gemini Junior plates, done several videos sharing those warped, unusable plates. My biggest concern was, will her plates warp? And I have to say, whew, I have not experienced any warping. None whatsoever. I keep my same plate orientation. I always cut into this plate. I don't flip the plates. And look, you guys, the plate, it's flat as a pancake. Absolutely no warping. And I don't believe I'm going to experience any warping with these plates. And I just remembered something that I did mention in one of my other videos, that, okay, this is a Big Shot plate here. I believe, and I didn't, well, can you tell that her plates are thicker than the standard plates on the market? This is for a Gemini, no, this is for the Big Shot, but I use this plate in my Gemini Junior. Yeah, her plate is thicker than the Big Shot plate, the Cuttlebug plate, and Crafter's Companion plate. And that might have something to do with the reason why I have not experienced any warping. Had I been using the Gemini Junior, by now the plates would have warped beyond use. I am once again pleased to announce that there is no warping, which means these plates will last a long time, because I'm cutting into one side, I'm going to flip it over, cut into the other side, and then do the same for this plate. By the way, you can pick up plates on hsn.com. I don't know if there's any available right now. I did read some comments that users were having a difficult time securing plates for the large Empress machine and for this size too. I picked up an extra pack of plates when they were in stock when I first purchased my machine. Yeah, check HSN's website. I don't know if plates will be available outside of HSN, but your plates should last a very long time. Okay, so these are the standard A plates. Let's talk about the other mats and shims that comes with the machine. Okay, the metal shim. This comes with the machine. You could also buy this separately, and you see mine's here. Now, Anna Griffin uses the metal shim as a shim. Let's build the sandwich in the manual, if I can remember what it is. Okay, so you use a standard plate. You put down your metal shim. You put your magnet sheet on top, your die, your paper, and then you top it off with your top A plate. Okay, so the reason why you see impressions in my metal shim is because I have cut directly into the metal shim when I used extra intricate dies. Sometimes you may not need to cut directly into the metal shim, but I have dies that did not cut through with the ordinary sandwich, and I had to cut directly into the shim. This shim will warp if you cut in it too much, and too much is subjective. I did not cut into this one that much, and I noticed warping. What I'm going to do is probably dedicate this one to cutting into the metal when I need it, and my new metal mat, I won't cut into it at all. But this machine does get the job done for the most part. For the most part, if you cut directly into the metal shim. Okay, but once again, you don't have to. This is used as a shim. Okay, so it will warp if you use it, but it will flatten out if you send your sandwich through the machine a couple times. Well, mine's flatten out. If you use yours too much, it may not flatten out. I don't know. But what I do like about it is how these two, they magnetize together and they stay together. What prompted me to do this video right now? Well, I sat down to play with my Anna Griffin machine, and I noticed something that I think I noticed before, but really didn't pay attention to it. And I have to go back and watch my last video where I used this machine because it was probably obvious in the video. No one left a comment. But anyway, I was about to use the machine, sat down to build my sandwich, and let me show you guys. Do you see how much longer the magnet sheet is compared to the plates? Yeah, the magnet sheet, it has expanded. I've never noticed that happening with the Gemini Junior. It could have, and I just didn't notice it. But yeah, it will expand. And you can see that I have used, well, I cut directly into the magnet sheet. It does not have any warping, but it definitely did expand. And speaking of the magnetic sheet, you should be able to cut on both sides. So there's a lot of usage to get out the magnet sheet. Okay, but the magnet sheet once again expands. Now, so far, it's expanded more so longer or in length than it has in width. This still will fit through the machine, but if it gets too wide, it won't fit through the machine. What I am going to do, and probably in this video, is just cut off the excess. Yeah, this is interesting. If you guys have, well, any machine that uses a magnetic sheet, if you have experienced expanding, leave it in a comment below. I've never heard of a magnetic mat expanding, but that's not going to stop me from using this machine because overall, I love this machine. It's small, but it's mighty, and it does accommodate a lot of my existing dies. Okay, so we have covered all of the mats. Well, let's talk about one more mat in particular. And this is not a mat that came with the machine. You will need to add your own shim when you are embossing. And what I have been using, I just cut up an old Cricut mat to the size of the standard, well, to the size of one of the mats, because these are pretty much all the same size. And this is what I use as an extra shim. The sandwich in the manual do not render the best embossing results. If you've seen any of my videos testing this machine out, then you know that. I use the Cricut mat, but you can use cardstock. You might need to layer a couple cardstock pieces together. You don't have to use a mat. You just have to use something that will make your sandwich thicker so you can get the best embossing possible. And the way I layer my sandwich is just like this. I have the A plate, the Cricut mat, and then you see the magnet sheet stuck, or the metal shim stuck to the magnet sheet. Just like this, my die, my paper, and then my top mat. When I cut, I always cut directly into this mat, or I cut directly down into the magnetic sheet. So you will need a shim if you want the best embossing, and that is embossing with your dies. And another thing too, you can cut and emboss in one pass if you cut down directly into the magnet mat, and if you have another layer, another shim, you can cut and emboss in one pass. Okay, so we've covered all of the mats. Oh, you know, let me compare how the magnetic mat should look. So this is a new mat, and I love the strength and the durability of this mat. So this is a new one, and this is the one that I have been using. You can see, well, let's do this. Well, I'll compare it like that. You can definitely see in length how much it has expanded, and width-wise, well, I don't have this side even, but I'm going to have to cut off at least a ½ inch from the width, but not right now because it can still fit through the machine. Now, let me go back to the mats because this is important. And if you saw my other videos, okay, let me just show you guys. All right, when you layer your mats inside your sandwich, you want your plates, and I'm thinking the A plates. The A plates have to, let's hit run. The A plates have to activate the rollers so the whole sandwich can go through. And if you're working with an expanded magnetic mat, sometimes you might have the tendency for your magnetic mat to protrude out. And if that happens, it may, well, it activated the rollers this time, but sometimes it may not activate the rollers. So just keep that in mind. Let's quickly do a couple cuts, and I'll talk more about the features of this machine. Okay, I'm not going to do the sandwich in the manual. I'm just going to do my sandwich. There's the metal shim. And I'm going to use one of Anna Griffin's dies. This is her nativity set. And I'm using 110-pound cardstock from Michaels. It's Recollections. And I'm going to cut and emboss in one pass if this die embosses. So I'm cutting down, directly down into the magnetic mat. Now, when using this machine, you do have to hit run first. You don't have to do that with the Gemini Junior. It goes through with no problems. In my initial video, I talked about the noise. I think what I heard and what I continue to hear is standard. I have not had any problems with my machine. Oh, this is beautiful. This is the first cut. Look at all of that embossing. So you can achieve embossing and cutting in one pass. Now what I'm going to do is remove my shim, and let's do it again and see how well it fares. And then we're going to work with that reverse button. That's something I did not talk about in my other videos. Love the machine. It goes through really fast. And for my next cut, if I don't forget, I want to talk about taking, oh, can you see the difference? The impression is much deeper with the Cricut, with my extra shim, versus this is the sandwich used, or this result would be from the sandwich in the manual. So you do need a shim. Okay, let's do the cut one more time. And then, and I'll use a different die. I love this Nativity, or what I call His Birth collection. I do believe it's sold out, but check the website. Okay, let's use another die. Going to cut directly down in the mat. If you don't want to cut down into the mat, and then you would cut in one pass and then use her, oh, I didn't even talk about the embossing mat. Forgot all about it. Okay, yeah, you would cut in one pass and then you would use your embossing mat for the second pass. I don't mind cutting directly into the mat, because the mat, in my opinion, is going to last a long time, meaning the magnetic mat. Okay, I'm not going to hold the sandwich. What I do like about her machine, the sandwich don't fall out. So that's good, because I have my machine towards the end of the table, the side end. Because it don't fall out of the machine, I don't have to worry about my plates and my dies and the die cuts falling on the floor. Okay, so take a look at that. And this particular die is much more intricate, so it's not going to cut out all of the pieces. Even if I used a pokey tool, it's not going to cut out all the pieces. So what I would then do, and I'm going to go ahead and do it in this video, I would cut directly into the metal shim. Remember, the metal shim will warp, but you can probably flatten it out just by sending the entire sandwich through. Oh, you know what? Okay, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to add the shim. I don't know if I had the shim in with that sandwich. So let's do it again. And this time, well, I'm going to cut directly into the mat once again. Okay, let's send it through. Hit run. Let's see if that did it. Oh, yep. So that time, adding that Cricut shim, I don't have my pokey tool. I'll just use this. Okay, adding that Cricut shim increased the cutting power and the cutting ability. So I did not need to use the magnetic shim. And yeah. All right. Okay, so I am not going to cut into my metal shim because I did not need to. Sometimes you don't need to. Sometimes you might need to, but just make sure that you're using a shim. And if I want to, I really could use 2 Cricut mats, but I don't want to add too much thickness. Okay, so we've made these cuts. I've demonstrated how you can cut and emboss in one pass, which that is so beautiful. I demonstrated how you can use a more intricate die with a shim and not cut into your metal mat and get good results. Let's see what's on my list, because I do have, oh, let's talk about this reverse, because you know what? I haven't I haven't really played with the reverse. One time I did, and I figured I'm going to leave it alone because I'll probably never use it. Okay, I'm not going to cut anything out. I'm just going to play. I probably should stop this video and watch a video. Okay, I'm going to hit run, put the sandwich through, and okay. Did you guys see that? Let's do it again. Hit run. Send the sandwich through. When you hit reverse one time, it stops, and then you have to hit reverse again. Oh, you got to hit reverse and hold it. Because if I stop, if I take my hand off the reverse button, it stops. Hit it again, it continues to come out. Okay, so when you use reverse, let's do it one more time. And this might be annoying. I'm going to let it go. You know, let's let it go all the way through. If it goes all the way through, once again, the sandwich did not fall out, but I'll wait until it stops. Okay, I'm glad it did that because it won't stop. Yeah, the sandwich, the plates are activating the rollers, so you will hear that noise until you take out your sandwich. Okay, so to use the reverse, let's hit run. So that might be a bad thing that the plates don't fall out, because if you send your sandwich through and then you walk in the kitchen to finish cooking, your motor will continue to go, which can burn out your machine quicker. Okay, so let's hit run again and send it through. And before the sandwich goes all the way through to the other side, you have to hit reverse. And if you want, well, you got to hold reverse down until the sandwich, until it comes through. That might annoy some people. Usually, I only need to cut one time. So, as a matter of fact, this is the most I've ever used of the reverse. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I think I have covered everything, you guys. Overall, once again, I love this machine. Oh, I said I was going to cut the mat, right? Let's see if I can use a pair of scissors to cut. And the last thing I'm going to do is cut the mat. Let's see if I'm able to use regular scissors. I picked up these from Costco. I think they still have them, 3 in a pack. Nothing special about these. There are industrial scissors out there. Just using what I have. Probably better to leave this here. And let's see if I can, that's a lot, right? It expanded a lot. Okay, and the thing, oh, it's cutting with no problem. Because it's expanding, I wonder if the expanding has made the mat thinner. If that's the case, I might need to add an additional shim. I mean, I would think because it's expanding that the original thickness, it has to decrease in thickness, right? And I don't mind adding another shim. What I'll do is use double stick tape, add them together, and I'm good to go. Okay, you guys, it cut with no problem. But overall, I am pleased with this machine. I love it. It's a nice size. It's mighty. It gets the job done. And to me, it's well worth having. You can only get it on HSN though. Okay, you guys, if you like this video, why not like it? Give me a big thumbs up. Also, subscribe, share this video. Feel free to check out my other videos where I'm using this machine. You're going to see it a lot in future videos because I just love it. You can take it anywhere. It's so portable. And the plates too, the mats on HSN, they're, in my opinion, well, if you get the bundle, it's reasonably priced. Okay, you guys, I want to thank you all for watching and stay tuned because I will be using the His Birth set by Anna Griffin in a couple of days. All right, you guys, I want to thank you all for watching. As always, blessings.